Well, I'm Elaine Moncur. I was a bishop. My alias, given to me by Aunt Joyce Whitney Wilson, I was commonly known as Minnie the Moocher. And from the story I get from Aunt Joyce, that nickname came because I was always hungry when I was a baby. Anyway, I love the name, and my grandchildren even love calling me Minnie the Moocher. And with that, I'll start with my mother, Pauline Whitney Bishop. She married Bob Bishop, and they lived in Lovell. I grew up in Lovell, but we were so close to Cali and all of our cousins. And my grandmother Whitney, I was able to get to know grandmother Whitney, and she passed away when I was age 5. So she and Grandpa Whitney were very close, and we got to love them and be with them. Mother was called Aunt Polly by some, Aunt Phoebe by others, pet names. She always had food in the kitchen when you stopped by her house. We always knew that you would have your choice of a good pie, and she was famous for her burnt sugar cake. And I don't think anyone has been able to duplicate that since she passed away. She and my father passed away within a year of each other, 1991 and 92. They both had cancer, but they endured well, and we enjoyed them up to the end. My mother cleaned the Armada Theater in Lovell. I guess I can remember our whole lives. So our cousins thought it was a big treat to come to Lovell to help sweep up the theaters after the movies. And we also had a cow camp up in the Bighorns, which was a favorite place for all the cousins to come and go recreate. And my dad was a farmer, and that was his recreation, so we didn't travel to too many places. We just became workaholics like the Bishops and like the Whitneys. But the joy of our life, I guess, was the closeness that we had with our cousins, with Aunt Mary and Uncle Art's kids, with Alberta and Specs, with Aunt Lynette and Uncle Orrin, and all those who came to visit. Close by from Billings and Francis and Uncle Frank, Uncle George, and Aunt Funny Ann. Uncle George we loved because he was such a comedian, as was Uncle Frank. They had great sense of humor, and they were great entertainers. And my mother had a wonderful sense of humor. She used to have a lot of fun, and she was a lot of fun. I remember the first time she was going to show us how to roller skate, and they had a cement pad out back of their home, so she put on the roller skates and did a few didos and broke her wrist. And she was always willing to go and have fun and do things. We were out to an orchard and we were picking apples, and she was riding on the back of the truck, and I hit a bump and she fell off and broke her ribs. But she didn't really ever complain. She'd laugh and have fun about it. But she was just a great teacher, a great mother, a great grandmother, as was my father, who was quiet but with a very dry sense of humor, and he could always tease her and get her going, and they too were close to all of their brother-in-laws and sister-in-laws, and so we had a wonderful time growing up around the Bighorn Basin in Cali and Lovell. My grandchildren have great memories, those that are old enough, of course. My own children become very tender when they start to talk about Grandpa and Grandma Bishop, because they were special people for these children of mine, and they set great examples, and they expected us to remember who we are and to have good standards, and we appreciate that teaching that came through from